Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM, here on lockdown Saturday here in Melbourne. Because let's go up to our friends up in the US again, because we're heading to Montana in particular, and of course speak with the Montana women's basketball team. Of course, we've got a very special guest on the show to tell us a bit about how they've going in the preseason as they head towards that first game of the season next month. And she joins us right now to tell us a bit about. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me. So I'm Nyah Morris. I'm at University of Montana and I'm going into my senior year. Basically, we've just had a really hectic and fun preseason. You know, we've got a new coaching staff, so it makes everything a lot more exciting. And yeah, I'm just really excited for where everything's heading for us and everything's looking really good.
I know you mentioned just a moment ago about new coaching staff. You might as well tell us a bit about your coaches.
Yep. So we have a new head coach, Brian, and we have two new assistant coaches, Nate and Jocelyn. And then we also have Jordan Sullivan. She was from last season, but she's still with us. Honestly, they're great coaches. They're some of the best coaches I've had so far. Their energy levels just throughout practice and throughout the whole preseason has been insane. Like, you can really tell that they are really bought into us and they really want the best for us in this team. And yeah, it just makes playing for them and playing under them really exciting. And yeah, I'm excited.
You've been in your senior year. Now, of course, you do have one more year of eligibility on top due to COVID last season. Number one, are you hoping to maybe be there another year after this year? And secondly, I guess what's the expectations on the team this year?
Well, when it comes to me and if I want an extra year or not, I think I haven't decided yet. I'm still basing it off how this season goes for us and just for me personally. But I mean, yeah, who doesn't want an extra year in college? That's awesome. That's a good opportunity. And for this team, like everyone, we really want to come out Big Sky Championship. We have a big tradition here, a big Lady Grizz tradition that we just want to upbring and bring back within the team that we have now. But most importantly, I think our team is really big on the bond that we have and just the culture we have. So if anything, we just want to come out stronger and just closer as a team and just as one big family. But, you know, everyone wants to win and we definitely want that. We want the Big Sky ring on our finger. But yeah, no, it's great.
Last season, you played in front of virtually no one due to COVID. This year, obviously, you're going to get the chance to play in front of your Grizz fans there at Montana. How special is to see the fans back in the stadium again?
I don't know what it's like, so I am still so excited to see everyone in the stands. But even in practice, just now, our preseason practice, we have like our boosters coming to watch our practice, and just to see how many there is, it's crazy to me to see how the amount of support we have. But I'm so excited to play in front of everyone, and I'm so excited for everyone to just finally get here and to finally meet everyone, even though I've been here for a long time. But yeah, I'm so excited, and everyone's so excited.
Being in the Big Sky Conference, there's quite a lot of Aussies over there, especially in the Big Sky Conference. Is there one particular matchup that you would love to, play against, especially against an Aussie?
Definitely have to be Idaho State. Callie born on Idaho State. She's a tough player. She's insane. She's a really good player and a really good matchup. And I've only played them once, but when we did, it was a good game. It was tough. They did really well. But yeah, I'm excited to see her again and to play against that team with new people.
Fun enough, earlier today, we actually interviewed another of your Big Sky opponents in Northern Colorado, which obviously they have Zoe Campbell in that team, and an Aussie as well. Have you ever played against her, and how good will it be to play against her eventually?
I have. I played against her back home. I think she played for someone up in Sunshine Coast, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And yeah, but yeah, no, I'm excited to play against her. I actually didn't know she was at University of Northern Colorado, so that's really exciting. I get to see her, and I'm excited for that matchup as well.
Now, tell us a couple of players in your team we should watch out for our fans that's going to watch your games online on the live stream. And I think your games might be on ESPN at some stage.
I think definitely the Sophia Styles, like she's our PG. She's an insane leader. She led us big time last season, and I think she's back here this season to lead us even more. And she has a big role in our team, and I think that's really important. She's a key player. I definitely think the same thing for Abby Anderson and Carmen G-Feller. They're big leaders in our team and people that we look up to when time's getting tough in the game. So I think they're definitely the ones to watch. They're great people to play with, and I love having them on my team.
I guess for you in particular, being in your senior year, how have you found being over in the US? You've had 4 years over there at the moment. How have you found it throughout your time over in the US?
Honestly, at times it's been challenging, but in the end, I think everything's worth it. I really enjoy it here, like as much as my parents hate, but I want to come back here when I'm done. I love it in America. It's a lot of fun here. Just the atmosphere and the people here is what I love the most about it. But yeah, it's a good move, and I couldn't be happier that I'm here.
I'm assuming you're a Queenslander, by the sounds of that. So I have to ask, did you get the chance to return home, or did you end up staying there for the summer?
No, I was actually able to go home over summer. I had to do the 2 weeks in quarantine in Sydney in a hotel, and then I was able to be home for at least over a month, which I'm so thankful that our new coach gave us, because that was obviously a difficult situation when we had a new coach and I had to be back here. But no, he gave me the opportunity to go home and be with my family. And yeah, it was a lot to come back. Like, there was a lot of missed flights because everything was getting cancelled because of COVID. But yeah, I was able to be home for a little bit, which was great.
What does that mean to you to return home during, a pandemic? Obviously, with border restrictions and everything like that, with obviously our international borders are still shut. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. I was really grateful for it. It was a tough situation, and not a lot of people were able to go home. So I think just being someone that was able to, it just made me really blessed and thankful to have the opportunity.
What are your goals for yourself? You mentioned about the team earlier. Yeah. What are your personal goals to contribute to the team for this current season?
I think compared to last year, I want to be a bigger and a better role player for this team. I want to be like in the senior position this year. I want to be someone that can lead this team as well. Like with the leaders that we have, I want to be upon that group as well. And, hopefully I get the best out of this season. If I come back, or if I don't, a big goal is to just go play overseas even more. That's the perfect world and the idea I have in mind.
On top of that as well, you mentioned about those goals. How's that tracking at the moment in preseason?
Good. It's actually coming along really well. Coach Brian has given me confidence that I've been struggling to have it for quite a long time. So he's a big part of why everything's going really well right now. And along with the other coaches that we have, they're all great, and I couldn't ask for any better coaches right now.
Your basketball journey, where did it all start and why did you choose it?
Freshman season, I graduated from high school. Then freshman season, I came over here and I went to South Plains Junior College in Texas. I chose that specifically because just the type of team it was and the competition that it was, and being able to go JUCO, I just felt that it opened up a lot more opportunities for me, and that's what I wanted at that point after graduating. Then my sophomore season, I transferred to Iowa Western, and that was another junior college, and I chose that college purely also because of the coach. Coach Vandy, she was a great coach, and she was someone that really believed in me. And that's just something I was looking for my last season in junior college. And then junior and senior season, I transferred here to University of Montana. Obviously, I committed under different coaches, but the same thing. They were great coaches last season, and just the atmosphere and the culture here was a big reason why I wanted to come here.
Moving from beautiful sunny Queensland to down to the deep south of Texas, and then up to Iowa, up north, and now you're in further north than that. You're in Montana. I guess, how have you been adapting to the weather conditions, especially when it gets to that, December, January, February, it just absolutely goes cold?
Yeah, it's honestly started snowing here a little bit yesterday. So I'm already freaking out about the snow. But honestly, I haven't had any issues with it. Like, of course, it's like oh my gosh, like it's cold, ew. But no, I'm pretty good when it comes to adapting to things, and just, yeah, I'm able to just adapt to the environment I'm in, and I'm loving it. I love traveling and I love going different places, so it's nothing hard.
Oh, well, that's good.
But yeah, the snow is definitely a struggle when it comes Christmas time. Yeah.
On top of that, what would be some highlights throughout your basketball journey so far?
I think a big one was when I played at Iowa Western. We won conference title. I think that was a big thing, and I was a big role in that game. I really enjoyed that, and I think this season, I think it was the start of this month, but we went on like a team retreat, and just the coaches allowing us to do that and to just be together. And the retreat was just all about coming closer and just opening up. And yeah, I think that's a big highlight that I haven't done throughout my whole college career so far. So doing that was really big and it was special. And I loved it.
I guess as well, on top of that, and do you ever like any highlights back home?
Yeah, back home there was always a team, AUSA. I mean, it's not home, but the team is from there. We would always come over to America, and I loved that. I loved all those little trips I got to do. Highlights would definitely be my high school team, Hillcrest basketball. Like, we were a tough team. I loved that team. That high school was great. And yeah, I miss those girls, and that was probably the highlight, just my high school years.
You mentioned about Hillcrest. Obviously, they've had a really good success in Queensland schools, especially at nationals, normally around December. And of course, most of that nationals were here in Melbourne throughout those times. So what would be a highlight for you representing Hillcrest at nationals?
It was probably year 12, my last year at high school. It was just, the whole year was a highlight because I was one of the main seniors. So it was just, yeah, once again, being able to lead that team was a highlight, and just, it was something really special. And I had a lot of girls that looked up to me, and then I had a lot of really close friends. And then just even now, like, we have Tara, she's at TCU now, and we have Katie Diebel, who's killing it right now, and she's going to be great. Like, there's a bunch of girls that are just big time right now, and that's a highlight that we were a little team once, and that's exciting. It's cool.
What position are you hoping to convince your coaches to put you in this season?
I think I've hopefully already convinced them, but I definitely want to be the shooter on the team, and I think that's going well for me right now. My coach has a lot of confidence in me to just shoot the ball. Sometimes I don't shoot it enough in practice, and he'll get on my butt about it, and he'll be like, shoot the ball. So I think having that is just awesome. I love it so much. I haven't had that in a long time.
You might as well give your local basketball association back home a bit of a shout out.
Yeah, Gold Coast Basketball, and my mom is now the president of that association.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, that's a big shout out to that association and to my mom, of course. But yeah, really thankful for them and all the coaches I had throughout playing at Gold Coast Basketball. They're obviously a big reason as to why I'm here now.
And obviously Gold Coast, a fantastic basketball community as well. And obviously they've been involved in a lot of national success at junior side of things, including a national championship win in the 14s, but also part of the NBL One North Conference at the moment as well. Do you keep track on how everything's going down the Gold Coast? And obviously with your family involved in it heavily, but and also do you have a highlight as representing the Gold Coast?
I think definitely a highlight would be like being able to play in that league, especially when I was only 15, 16 years old. That would be a highlight, just to be able to do it that young. But yeah, I definitely keep track of it all. The head coach for the women's team is Jackie Leah. She's like the best coach I've had, one of my favorite coaches throughout my whole basketball career. She taught me a lot. She taught me the fundamentals of everything. So I'm definitely keeping track of it all, definitely keeping in contact with her, and hopefully make a comeback season for my off season to play there. But yeah, I definitely keep in contact with her, the team, just the girls on the team. And obviously, of course, watching my brother play for them as well.
So I want to ask you as well, now you just mentioned that your brother plays as well. So who's the better basketball player out of you two?
Okay. We are actually very different players.
Oh.
Yeah, well, not really, but when it comes to shooting, I definitely have him on the shooting side. But when it comes to just being a swaggy player, swifty, quick, it's definitely Jay's. He's got some speed to him. He's got some handles. He's got some nice moves. All
Yes, he
that.
does.
Yeah,
Yes, he
he's raw.
does.
And I guess it makes it better that he can dunk, but whatever. Yeah, no, when it comes to shooting, I got him. But if it's as a family and shooting, my dad's got us both. He's a
Oh,
shooter.
right.
Yeah, dad's a shooter.
Now, what does the sport of basketball mean to you, and especially being there at Montana?
I think obviously basketball is a big part of my life. It's a big part of our family. Everyone in my family plays it. To me, basketball, it can get so frustrating at times, but it's also a time for me to just let it all out and just let the anger out, or just, it's like a happy place to me. Like I could be having a tough day with classes, and then when I go to practice and see my team and my coaches, it's like a big deep breath, and it's just relaxing, and it's like a happy place. It's just somewhere that I enjoy being, and I think it's a big thing where you just get to have fun and just do you.
And do you have any, you know, short and long-term goals in the sport of basketball?
I think my long term is just to get overseas and play at a more professional level after this. And short term, it's definitely, yeah, short term, I just want to be the best I can be for my teams and to just have little success at the goals that I want, just the little goals that I want in games and practices. But yeah.
And what would be your advice to people on the Gold Coast or anywhere in Queensland that should get involved in basketball?
A big one, there's actually this book. I think I have it. I don't have it. It's somewhere. But our coach has given us this book, and it's called Pound the Stone. And I think, honestly, advice that you need is in that book, and reading that book. It talks a lot about how you have to pound the stone in order for the stone to crack and to just accomplish things that you want. So I think that's a big like metaphor for basketball, that you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going with the small things in order for you to get to the big things, even when things feel like it's not all coming together. It leads up to all the big stuff. So I think starting with the fundamentals and yeah, just pounding the stone daily is what's going to get you there. But it's a great book.
Now, we'll finish on a couple light-hearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, any embarrassing moments by anyone on the team during pre-season?
I wouldn't really say that there has been. I think like embarrassing moments, like a lot of us have like just randomly like just, oh, there was this one practice where one of our freshmen, Haley Heard, it was just a practice where she was nonstop tripping over everything and just was always on the floor and just always falling over her own feet. And I think that was just the light of that practice. And that has been something that was really funny. And yeah, she was enjoying it. She was loving it. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's been the theme of all my interviews so far today.
Yeah. I bet.
Who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team?
The comedian is definitely Abby Anderson. She is a great teammate. She is so funny. Like even throughout practice, we could be having like a not so well practice and we could be frustrated with each other, but she just ends up coming out with something funny and it'll just lighten up the whole mood. Or even in the locker room just before practice, it's always good vibes with her in there because she's just joy. It's great to have her around. The best singer, Sophia Stiles. She actually has an insane voice. Like she actually sings. She's a really good singer. She like one time sung Alicia Keys songs for us, and yeah, she was great. They're like the hardest songs, and she was hitting the notes. Best dancer, probably me and Kat, just because we make TikToks. Yeah. We just make a lot of TikToks together and everyone else doesn't really join. But yeah, Kat definitely has some moves. She's one of our Greece players, but yeah, definitely her.
Well, thank goodness you've actually answered my next question, and I'm happy you actually mentioned that because I know you're into your TikToks.
Yes.
So my question is, what's the best TikTok dance that you've done, and are you now TikTok famous?
I'm not TikTok famous yet because Kat and I only just started it, but hopefully we get there. I don't really have a favorite TikTok dance. I think what Kat and I like the most is like the ones where they're like little skits and they're just funny. yeah, they're the ones that we enjoy doing. But yeah, that's really it.
And do you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I used to like game days. I used to usually freak out and just make sure I had everything in order. But I think now, and just I learned a big thing from my brother. Like what he used to do before games is he never listened to pump up music. He would always listen to slower music. And he told me that he did that because why be pumped up before the game when you should be pumped up in the game. So I've always been like, that's so smart. I never thought of that. So now before games, I always listen to like throwback, like 90s, 2000 songs that my parents always loved. And it's just like chill and calm music. So if I'm going to listen to music, it's that. But I usually am really big on just taking my day like it's an average day, and like, my basketball game is like my job. It's what I do. It's what I love. And it's nothing for me to freak out over or just get stressed over during the day before it. So I like to just chill out on game day and just feel like it's normal. It's life. But yeah.
Now, I always ask all the Aussie players that I have over that we've interviewed over there these next two questions. The first one is, have any of your teammates tried to put the Aussie accent, and how's that traveling?
I think I cannot go a solid 2 days without someone mocking my accent. But yes, they always try to put on the Australian accent after I say a word, or like say in practice when we have to yell ball and then I say it, and it just, you can tell the difference of who's saying ball, because it's just, yeah. But no, my teammates and my coaches definitely just make me repeat words, or they just try and put it on. But I honestly love it. It's funny, and it's great to hear them listen to it.
I'm assuming it sounds British.
Yes, very British. Yeah, it's so British. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's the theme so far as well. And my next one is any of them, like, when they've done the Aussie accent, done a little bit better than the others?
Yes, actually, Danny on our team is a freshman, and whenever she puts on an Australian accent, it's convincing. Like if I looked away and I heard her talking, I would think she's another Australian on the team. She's actually really convincing at it. Yeah, I should have gotten her on here to do it, but yeah, no, she's great at it. And then the others, they just definitely sound British.
Oh, right. Maybe when we get you on the show, maybe you can bring her along with you on the next one, so we can hear exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, definitely.
Now, the other one is, have you convinced any of your teammates to come with you to Queensland?
I think I've convinced them all. Even my coaches are ready to come. My head coach has been there numerous amounts of times, so he's actually been convincing them for me as well, like just talking about how great it is where I live. But yeah, definitely, I've heard a bunch of them saying they want to come back with me.
Have you tried to convince any of your teammates that we have kangaroos as pets?
Oh yeah, a lot. And that was right. I tell them I ride them to school, everything. If I meet a new person, they say something about a kangaroo, I'm like, yeah, that's like my transport system.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. But no, my teammates are definitely on to me now. They know it's not true. And I've definitely tried telling them about drop bears, and yeah, freaked them out a little bit with that. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I never even thought of asking about drop bears. I'm going to start doing that on my next couple of interviews. Have you tried the American accent, because you've now been there for 4 years, and how's that traveling?
I definitely sometimes, yes, my teammates will be like, try say this in an American accent, and I'll definitely try, and I just think it's the funniest thing ever.
Is there anyone on the team that has copped the most Falcons throughout the preseason during practice?
I actually don't think there has been. If anything, our coach, Jordan Sullivan, has gotten the ball passed to her back and her head a few times. So probably our coach more than us. Definitely. But yeah, that's really all I can think of.
Well, at least it's not the players. At least the players are more focused than the coach.
Right.
Yeah. Now, describe your team in a couple of words.
We actually did a big poster about just some words that we wanted to represent, and I think a big one was it's basically just all in or nothing. It's like it's just a big thing where we all are really just bought into the program and just really brought into just being like the next big thing at and just being bringing back the culture. We are really big on our culture and just really big on all of us being a family and just like being really brought into what we want and what we want to get out of each other. Yeah, it's like all or nothing type of thing.
But, well, no, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome having you on the show. Best of luck for the upcoming season. Please send our best wishes to your teammates, and hopefully all starts well during obviously the first half of the season before conference play, and hopefully all goes well out there at Montana for you.
Yeah, thank you for having me on this.
No worries. And that's Nyah Morris-Nelson there, joins from the Montana women's basketball team. And of course, if you want to support the Mighty Grizz throughout the 2021-22 season, we'll put all the details up on their schedule on our website. So if you want to check that out. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.